The system of democracy has been seen in recent times as the be-all, end-all solution for a stable system of governance over the common population. But the truth behind democracy is that inherently it is majorly flawed, and due to this, a lot of suffering and oppression has reached the people from those they themselves voted into power. Here are 10 points on why democracy doesn't work. Number 1. The rule of the mob. A system which is governed by what the majority of people think and believe in as policy ultimately leads to the minority being unheard and oppressed, be it by their needs not being looked into or by being the target of the majority of the populace. The winning choice is thus based on popularity rather than on what is right. Number 2. Corruption. In order to win elections, many candidates make deals, which could be as simple as bribery to clientelism, where local governments are given special benefits to ensure their vote and support. Number 3. Ignorance of the uneducated masses. Most voters are irrational or otherwise highly uninformed about many political issues and are driven by short-term desires and fierce individualism, and thus do not see when voting the long-term implications of such policy change to the entire population. This prevents societies from making decisions that benefit them as a whole. Number 4. Populism. Politicians must choose between getting elected and speaking the truth. Candidates resort to emotion instead of reason and common sense as a strategy to win elections by appealing to the general uneducated, materialistic, and ignorant masses, and make promises everybody knows won't be kept after election day. Many dictators in history have been elected into power through populism, and once in power, changed the government to a dictatorship. Number 5. Group mentality conformity. Scientific studies have shown that human beings in most cases tend to agree and conform with the general group, even if they initially or secretly believe the opinion or decision of the group is wrong, simply because they are too afraid to be the only one with a different opinion, even if it is the morally right one. Number 6. Materialism over life values.
I think it's important for us to develop new sources of energy here in America, that we change our tax code to make sure that we're helping small businesses and companies that are investing here in the United States, that we take some of the money that we're saving as we wind down 2 wars to rebuild America.
Compared with economics, or what is seen as most important and realistic, democratic debates very rarely touch values, ethics, or concepts such as justice and peace.
So we are going to have the wealthy pay their fair share. We're going to have corporations make a contribution greater than they are now to our country. It could produce 10 million new jobs. By contrast, Donald's plan has been analyzed to conclude it might lose.
Number 7. True allegiance. The democratic system is set up so that in order for a candidate to even have a campaign, they need a huge amount of financial backing by corporations. This results in their allegiance being to them rather than the people. Number 8. Real government. Larger, more distant, and elite-based structures such as Wall Street, NATO, the EU, the IMF, SCO, ASEAN, banks, and stock market manipulations set up the parameters within which the state or national governments may operate, and in most cases, many of these institutions employ and bankroll a particular candidate whom will get them what they want. So in reality, people are only voting for a puppet, and their voices are not being taken into consideration. Only the voices of those big institutions which control these puppets from behind the curtain. Number 9. Moral decay. Democracy follows essentially a doctrine of moral relativism, where no particular moral code is seen as absolute. Only what a particular group of people that defines a particular nation would agree to value is to be given any value. This core property of democracy thus ends up conflicting the very meaning of moral values and leads to oppression, perversion, and the destruction of the family unit. Number 10. Median voter theorem. The median voter theorem means that there is no difference in the candidates' policies in a modern democracy. This is because once the elections reach two parties, both parties will appeal to the median voters, whom are not so strongly tied to their party's beliefs, in order to secure the victory. This results in both parties promising extremely similar, if not the same, policies in an attempt to appeal to those voters, and resulting in a system that the only thing which changes is the faces.